So this is what the four Kumaras are experiencing when they are in proximity of the Lord, when they are seeing the Lord face to face, and what they observed. Like the previous verse says, the beautiful face appeared to them like the inside of a blue lotus, and the smiling of the Lord appeared like a blossoming jasmine flower. So it's a long purport. Prabhupada is explaining many points. First and foremost, we have to understand that what as human beings our potential is, and that potential, as scriptures say, is we being Amsha of Krishna, are qualitatively one. We are Sat Chit Ananda. We are blissful, always happy. There is no fear, there is no anxiety, there is no lamentation. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochyati Na Kankshati. There is no fear of death. Chit, all knowledge, enlightened. And Ananda, blissful. And if we analyze our lives, we are far away from that. In fact, everyone in this material world. And the entire field of activities would going on, different acts which people are involved in, is an attempt to fill that gap. What is the current reality? The current reality is asat. Everyone is fearful, anxiety, fear of death, impermanence, ignorance. So much of research is happening to find out, to figure out, to know. So many big educational institutions, so many books being written, so much knowledge being shared, so many training courses being organized. Chit and Ananda, we know how people are suffering in so many ways. So that's the current reality, and that's visible to us. If you just glimpse of the newspaper, the current reality is highlighted. Death, fear, anger, greed, lust, pride, envy, jealousy, ego, clashes, fights. And everyone is trying to fill the gap. Different people have different theories. Even in spirituality, we have different kind of people coming up with different philosophies. How to bridge the gap? How to achieve that state? Everyone is actually directly, indirectly is gunning for that. Some may be aware that they are gunning for that, some may not be aware. They all are gunning for Satchidananda, including an atheist. If we were to analyze what is the motive behind everyone's action, what is driving him, what is fueling him, what is his aspiration, what is his goal, it is this. So there are, even in the Gita, there are many processes. Yoga means to achieve that. That's our default setting. Just like in any phone we have default setting. That's our default setting. We are happy, we're blissful, no fear, no anxiety, no hankering, no lamentation, no fear of death. So there, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is talking about different processes to achieve that. So Prabhupada in the Purport is explaining that some processes may not be practical in this age, although they may be bona fide. Like for example, what Krishna recommended to Arjuna, that go to a secluded place, sit and control the mind, control the senses. Maybe very chosen few, 2, 5. Still people go to Himalayas. There are people who go to Himalayas and sit in solitary place. Maybe few of them can think in that direction and actually do it. But to achieve that default state is not the prerogative of some 2, 3, 5, 800 people. Everyone should be achieving it. That's our default setting. That's what we are hankering for. That's what we are trying to achieve. So Prabhupada is explaining that how this process, which was recommended to Arjuna, although it's a bona fide process, Arjuna refused to follow because it was not practical. Why it was not practical? Chanchalahi mana Krishna, which is very apparent to all of us. Mind is very turbulent, very unsteady, always flickering, different kinds of thoughts popping up. So, then Prabhupada explains, what is the solution? So Prabhupada is explaining that how the soul has consciousness and the Lord in the heart of every living entity, even in an atom, the supreme consciousness. We have to dovetail our consciousness with the super consciousness. Very nice example Prabhupada gives in one purport, that how, you see, if we have on our head one bucket of water, most of us, because we are not trained, will find it very difficult to carry one bucket of water. Maybe we'll walk for some time. If that bucket was bigger and maybe 30 liters of water or 50 liters of water, we may not be able to walk. We may not be able to carry a step. We may buckle down. That's the kind of burden people are carrying, because of which they're buckling down. Now, a fish in an ocean, that tons and tons and tons of water on its head. Fish which is floating inside the ocean, the tons and tons. What is the weight of that? What is the volume? What is the mass of that water? Tons and tons. I mean, you cannot imagine. But the fish is nicely swimming in that water. It is dovetailed with the water. Fish is not experiencing the weight of the water. We cannot carry 30 kg of water, 30 liters of water, 50 liters of water. But the fish, if you were to say, what is the water on top of it? Millions of tons, millions of liters. But it is small fish is floating, is swimming effortlessly, without feeling the weight of the water. So what is dovetailing of our consciousness? We being Amsha of Krishna, if we are Krishna conscious, what is dovetailing? Dovetailing means our desires are aligned with the desires of the Lord. We have no other desire other than the desire of the Lord. Lord's desire is our desire. Lord's desire for us, or Lord's desire, Lord's mission is our desires. Or our desires are aligned with the desires of the Lord. That is called dovetailing. So what is Krishna consciousness? Krishna consciousness is dovetailing our consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness, a tree cannot, or a stone, let's say this tripod stand cannot desire. This basket, if for some reason we leave it like this, lock the room, and open this room after 1 week, still it will be lying here. It will not be screaming in pain. It will not be saying, why did you close the room? Why did you leave me alone? If it happens to any one of us, we'll do the same. We'll feel uncomfortable because we have consciousness. So Krishna consciousness means our consciousness, our desires, our wishes is aligned with the desire of the Lord. That's why Prabhupada here in the Purport mentions the Lord is there very kindly in our heart as super soul. He is witness and He is sanctioner. We, conscious being, living entity, are desiring so many things. Ichha, dvesha, samuttena, dvandamohena, bharata. We want to lord over, we want to control, we want to enjoy independently, we want to enjoy the senses, we want to lord over other people, lord over the resources. The Lord is witness. He is watching. And He's sanctioning. So kind. Lord is a thorough gentleman. He's sanctioning. Okay, you want to do this? Okay, try. You want to try this? Try. You want to be this? Okay, be this. And this process of we, the living entity, desiring, trying to fill that gap, happens over many, many lifetimes. Trying different ways, different means to fill the gap, fill the gap, fill the gap. It is not happening. And bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyante. So Prabhupada then says, after many lives, if you have to come to that only, to bridge the gap, why not bridge in this life? And there are many speculative methods. There are many philosophers who have come up with, like Rajneesh, became so famous, people started calling him Bhagwan. Has a theory to fill the gap. Sambhogs and Samadhi. And some people practiced it, some people, apparently appeared to them that they have bridged the gap. They have achieved Samadhi. So many speculative methods, different philosophers coming up with different processes. But Bhagavad Gita spoken by none other than the Lord Himself is an authorized process, authentic process. And finally Krishna in the Gita, after having spoken everything, what does He say? Prabhupada is explaining. Finally He says, surrender unto me. Prabhupada ends this purport saying, Man mana, think of me. Bhav mad bhakto, become my devotee. Mad yaji, worship me. If you see all these three things, this is what Prabhupada is asking us to do. This is what Krishna consciousness movement is all about. This is what we are preaching. This is what we are trying to follow. Man mana, trying to think. Mind is chanchala, but we are trying. Our sadhana process is an aim towards that direction, to think of Krishna. If we cannot think always, at least for few hours in a day, in the morning and evening, we attend the sadhana where we are exclusively focusing our mind on chanting, hearing, doing kirtan. Bhav mad bhakto, trying to become a devotee. Madhyaji, worship Krishna. Mam namaskuru, pay obeisances. Our schedule, our dincharya includes so many opportunities where we pay obeisances. So if we do that, what will happen is our consciousness slowly, steadily, if we are sincerely following, rightly following, will get dovetailed with the consciousness, super consciousness, will achieve Krishna consciousness. And even though we may have tons and tons of anxiety, worries, so-called challenges, so-called troubles, so-called responsibilities, we'll not feel overwhelmed. Just like that example of fish. Because the whole anxiety comes when a person is in karta ham iti manyate. I am the doer, I am the controller. What will happen? What will happen to me? What will people think of me? That all is gone. I am servant of Krishna. Krishna is in control. My duty is to serve him. Whatever Krishna sanctions is acceptable to me. If he gives victory, good. If he gives failure, thank you. If I get fame, very nice. It is Lord's blessing. If I get infamy, I deserve it. So this is what Krishna consciousness, this is what Prabhupada is giving us. And then Prabhupada explains in the Purport, for us to get this message, this process of surrender, the Lord personally helps in the heart as super soul. He also manifests outside as spiritual master. So the Lord helps through the Guru, because Guru and the super soul, they are same. External manifestation of the super soul is the spiritual master, to guide the living entity towards the ultimate absolute truth and achieve our default thing of Sat Chit Ananda. So Krishna consciousness, what is Krishna consciousness? Sometimes we all become too familiar with a word and then we lose. What is Krishna? What are we trying to do? Prabhupada in one purport meant Krishna consciousness means to be conscious that I am servant of Krishna. Full stop. To always be conscious that I am servant of Krishna. Unfortunate. What is Maya consciousness? Maya consciousness is opposite of Krishna consciousness. Maya, just like darkness, there's nothing called as darkness. Absence of light is called darkness. Likewise, absence of this consciousness, when one thinks that I am independent, or the opposite is, without our knowledge, we are servant of our mind, servant of our senses. We may not be knowing. People don't think that they are servants of Krishna, of mind and senses. Everyone is serving, including the richest person, the Bill Gates of the world, the Warren Buffetts of the world, the richest people of the world. They are also servant. But they may not be aware that they are serving the mind and senses, the false ego. So, Krishna consciousness means to be conscious that I am servant of Krishna. And Maya consciousness is absence of Krishna consciousness. So, Krishna bhuliya jiva bhogavancha kare. Nikatatstha maya tare jhapatiya dhare. So what happens is, when we forget that I am servant of Krishna, what we'll do? We cannot stop serving. We will bhogavancha kare. We want to serve our mind and senses, look for sense objects, grab them, enjoy them. And what happens? Nikatastha maya tare jhapatiya dhare. Will catch us. Will come under Maya consciousness. Because of our life after life of Maya consciousness, so many lifetimes we have been in Maya, deeply engrossed in Maya, it is not easy to suddenly come to Krishna consciousness. That's why it says, elevation to Krishna consciousness, practice, sadhana bhakti. If one jumps immediately, that may be an imitation, sahajiya. It is realistically not possible to jump to the purified state. So what we are doing, what Prabhupada is wanting us to do is gradually purify our mind, purify our senses, purify our consciousness by following an authorized process. And what is the authorized process? What Prabhupada has given us. Chanting, reading, hearing, kirtan, association of devotees, hearing Bhagavatam class. So, the fear what we should have is, many of us, because we came in touch with Prabhupada mission, we initially, everything was so nice and all that, we can embrace the Krishna conscious movement. Slowly, quite possible, for some reason, if our sadhana gets slackened, our reading gets slackened, our shravanam gets slackened, and we lose the context. Lose the context means why we are doing what we are doing. It's a very dangerous thing. Then a person will find, I am neither here nor there. If we don't know why we are getting up in the morning, what will I achieve? If we don't know why I am chanting 2 hours daily, many people say, why 2 ghante? 2 hours. In that 2 hours, you can do so many things. Sometimes even so-called religious people, even the parents sometimes say, 2 ghante, 5 minute karo, 10 minute karo, hum bhi karte hain puja. And sometimes this thought can even come to us. 6 घंटे की साधना बहुत ज़्यादा है ये तो. सर्दियों में सुबह उठना, आराम से उठ के करो जो भी कर सकते हैं. कृष्णा ने भी बोला सुसुकुम कर तुम अवयवम. आसानी से करना चाहिए, मजे से करना चाहिए, खुशी से करना चाहिए. जो जितना हमारे से खुशी से हो जाता उतना ही करेंगे. Prabhupada, yesterday I was reading, Prabhupada says, without tapasya, you cannot achieve anything. Brahma wanted to create this universe, but because without tapasya, with tapasya what happens? We get blessings of the Lord. Tapo divyam shuddhir brahma saukhyam tu anantam. Divine tapasya. Everyone is doing tapasya. If we don't do divine tapasya, we'll have to do maya tapasya. Everyone is doing tapasya. People are working 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours a day. It's tapasya, austerity. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was giving example last time. Mumbai, the train starts at 5 in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning, you learn trains are loaded. Average person in Mumbai travels about 2 hours, 3 hours back and forth in a day, apart from 10 hours, 12 hours of his work. So people are, if you don't do divine tapasya, will be forced to do maya's tapasya. We cannot sit quiet for a moment. When we do divya, divine tapasya, tapo divyam shuddhyet brahma saukhyam, then what will happen is, we will get blessings of the Lord and we will achieve the default state what we are hankering for. Brahma saukhyam tu anantam. Ananta means unending. Material pleasure is ending. Whatever we get, it will make us happy for a short while. That's why people are chasing. Actually, you see what? Nobody is happy with what? If you have, let's say, if you don't have a car, you're waiting for, when will I get 4-wheeler? When you get 4-wheeler, how can I get a better car? Then an Audi, then a Mercedes. Always there is something to look forward to which will make you happy. Then a Rolls Royce. People who have Rolls Royce, they want a private jet. Those who have private jets, what they are wanting? How I can go to space. Space tourism. चक्कर खा के आते हैं वहाँ पे. देख के आते हैं क्या है. And that is what people are working for. People will be able to go to space, spend some time there and come back. Not happy. And we should also, we will be caught in that chakkar. Will not be, there is nothing called as, if you're not Krishna conscious, we are Maya conscious. There's nothing in between. If there is, there are shades of consciousness, shades of grey. If it is dark or light, in between there is shades of darkness. So we all are blessed that we have understood by Prabhupada's mercy some bit of this thing, but we may not have practical realization. We may not have conviction. We may not have faith. Our nishtha may not have fully matured. Still we may have doubts. Still we may have desires. Still we may have hope. This will make me happy. I am missing this out. Maybe I can try this to be happy. So, Prabhupada has given us an authentic process. It is spoken none other than Krishna himself. Man mana bhav mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskru. Krishna consciousness. So we all should take advantage of this good fortune what we have got. Some of us, as I said, if our Shravanam gets affected, we will lose the context. Prabhupada says, even deity worship will become a galagraha, a pain in the neck. Chanting will become pain. Chanting will become a burden. We will somehow, because we have taken a vow, chant 16 rounds, we will do it, but we can do it not pleasingly, not happily, not joyfully, not blissfully, not as if I am looking forward to. Somehow I have to do it. I have to finish it somehow. So many rounds are pending. So anywhere we short circuit this process, it will backfire. We stop attending sadhana, it will backfire. We stop hearing, no, I'll just attend chanting. Stop hearing, it will backfire. Because one portion of the equation is missed out. The final result will be something else. We can make some systems, processes. Yes, somebody is checking whether this person has come, not come, but it should come from within. What am I here for? Anyway, I am looking to close that gap. Anyway, I am not happy. Anyway, I am trying different things. Anyway, I have to try different things. But here, Prabhupada has given the most authentic thing. Prabhupada says, my only success is I have given you as it is, unadulterated. I have not mixed anything. And that is quite visible. Prabhupada, when he is speaking, he is not trying to impress the audience, trying to, it is visible. When professional reciters speak, they speak in a way which is to impress the audience. They will modulate their voice in a way, they will speak certain things, which is, you can make out that it is meant to, they are speaking to the crowd, audience. What they like, they speak. What they want to listen, they speak. Prabhupada is speaking what Krishna wants to speak. Prabhupada is speaking what is the truth. You may like it or you may not like it. Prabhupada is using the word rascal. Most of the people will not like it. That's why people stop reading. Fools and rascals. So many places Prabhupada uses and consistently uses. Not that, in some lectures he used it and then Prabhupada's 1965 lecture, if you see, and 1977 lecture, you see, the consistency is there because he is consistent in his message, because he is not speaking what others want to listen. He wants to speak what Krishna is speaking. Krishna wants to speak. And I was in Vrindavan, went for Govardhan Parikrama. So many devotees with tilak, so many foreigners, so many ISKCON devotees. how they have become devotees. It's because of the purity. And the best part is, many so-called movements have come and gone, so many so-called gurus have come and gone, but Prabhupada's thing is like, it will go on for eternity. Devotees are making more devotees, and more devotees, more and more Krishna consciousness. In fact, next 10,000 years said to be the golden age, although Kali Yuga is progressing. The message is pure. So we should have that conviction, and whatever Prabhupada has given very enthusiastically, with full heart, we should follow. And then success, what we are looking for, Sat, Chit, Ananda, is for sure we'll get it. And if we don't get it, we short circuit it, if we get deviated, we go tangent, then we are the losers. And a time will come when we'll feel, what am I doing? Neither I am outside enjoying material happiness, neither I am enjoying spiritual happiness, somewhere stuck in between. So that's a very sad state. So we'll stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada.